Welcome to Barb's Craft Room. Today I'm going to show you how to make a page flip-flop page. So here is an 8.5 by 11 page folded in half. And what I want to do is put this little poem, or you can put a picture or something, whatever you want, in here. But what I'm going to do is make a window that opens like that. Come along with me and I'll show you. This is for a junk journal. And I'm playing around and I think I figured it out. So let's see if I figured it out. So here we go. This is a 12 by 12 piece of paper from Graphics Fairy. It's 2020, graphic 45, excuse me. It's called Ephemera Queen Collection. And it's really pretty. So there's two different colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut it at 5.5 because the width of this is 5.5. All right. So I'm cutting it at 5.5. Setting this longer piece aside, turning this piece and cutting it at 6. Then I'm taking these two pieces, which are exactly the same, and I'm going to score it on the 6-inch side at 5. So I have a 1-inch line right here. I'm going to score it, not cut it, score it at the 1-inch or at the 5-inch on this side. So at 5 inches on the 6-inch side, scored. And I'm going to fold it, burnish it, fold it, and burnish it. Then I'm flipping it upside down. Okay? I'm going to put these off to the side for now. I'm going to take this other piece, which is 6.5. I'm going to cut it at 3.25. I want to save a piece of paper, so I'm going to first cut it at 8.5 on the 12-inch side. So let's first cut it at 8.5 on the 12-inch side. So then I have this, and I can turn this into a pocket over here much easier than I could if I didn't have it. Then I'm going to turn it this way. At the 6.5, I'm cutting it in half at 3.25. Then I'm going to score these at 1/2 inch or at 2 3/4. Score it. And make sure it scores. It's kind of thick. So I'm going to fold and burnish those sides. Now, if you don't want it all flowery or whatever, make sure your pattern is, you can move it in any direction. This is going to be all the same pattern unless I flip it over. And then I will burnish it the opposite direction. So I'll have a little bit of contrast like that. Okay? Then I'm going to take these two pieces . When you burnish like this, what it does is it breaks the paper fibers and it makes it easier to fold back and forth, back and forth. Okay, in case you didn't know that. These have such a sharp edge that I think I would really like to round the corners. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to round the corners so it looks a little softer. And at this point, if you decide you want to ink it, now would be the time to ink it. So that's what I intend to do. I'm going to ink the edges. And my green is going to be what's showing. But the other side will show as well. So it's probably to my benefit to ink both sides. Now we don't have to ink this flap because it's going to be glued down. Oh, but that looks so pretty. I love inked edges. Not everybody likes the way it looks, but it gives it more of a vintage feel when you ink the edge. Like it's old. Gives it an old feel. I know some ladies have just decided they don't want to ink the edges, and that's your prerogative. You do how you like. This is my journal, and I'm going to do it how I like. I'm going to scratch the glue on. I'm going to put it on the edge, like so. I'm going to scratch the edge of glue on this one. And I'm going to glue it on this side. And now I have a door. Here's my door. See that? It's a door. Flip, flop. Excuse my gluey fingers. I've been playing with paper all day. You know what happens when you play with paper, right? You get gluey fingers. A door. Now these are going to be the top and the bottom. But they might not fit here very well. So if I just glue them in here, yeah, it's not going to fit very well. So what I'm going to have to do, I believe, I thought I had it, but I'm going to have to trim it. I'm going to trim it 1/4 of an inch on both pieces. The reason I didn't cut it exactly before was just in case it would work without trimming it, but it wouldn't. So, and it would go like that. Okay, so that will work. I'm going to also turn around and I'm going to ink it. This is very simple to do. I didn't think it was as easy as it actually is. And the good part about doing this is you can continue to create similar kinds of flippy floppy things in everything you do. Now when you glue this down, you want to make sure the fold part is even with, so it doesn't get stuck. You see what I'm saying? You don't want it too far to where it catches and it doesn't glue. I mean, doesn't open. You want to make sure that it will open. and it can be a little tricky. Make sure you test it, test it, test it. And then retest it. Oops. I want to make sure that it will be able to open and close. Now, if it doesn't open and close, I will be upset. So this side is just a little tight. It's still a little tight. So what I might have to do, I might have to cut this a little. It just is a hair too tight. Don't be afraid to cut stuff so it fits. There. Still a little floppy. Yeah. I have to cut a little bit more. I should have tried to glue it better. There we go. Let's see. Play, play, and play, and play. There we go. That's better. Now I have this one. And this one's going to go on the bottom. But I trimmed that 1/4 inch. So again, I mean, it's kind of doesn't look like a pocket. So I have a trick for that as well, so that you can see that it's a pocket. And we're going to do that next. And we're going to do it before we glue it in. Because once you glue it in, if you make a mistake or mess it up, it's over, you know. So it's going to go like that. And what I'd really like to do now is I would like to create a tab of some sort. Ooh, there's so many cute things in this paper. Oh. Okay. I have, that's too pink. I do have some yellow. I've been using this paper for a while, so I have a few pieces that I can use. Their scrap pieces. So I have this yellow piece, and what I'm going to do with this yellow piece is I'm going to cut 2 circles. You don't have to use a circle. You can cut any shape you like. This is too small. Let's do a 1-inch circle. I think that will work. 1 inch, 1 inch. And put 1 inch there. I guess I could probably go ahead and glue it down, but I'm not going to yet. Okay. It just really makes it pop. Okay. I'm gluing the edge and not the center, so that I'm going to punch a hole in the center, And I didn't really want glue in the center. There we go. Now I'm going to take my hole punch, go for the center, and hopefully I get it in the center or close to it. It doesn't look cockeyed. But of course, I can't reach it up there. Of course not. It's a lot closer. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one in now. If you want to, you can also round the edges on this bottom section, because it will it'll make it easier to put in the, it'll make it easier. Let's put it that way. Okay, since I don't have a hole there, I'm going to have to make a hole. I don't have the long punch for, it's called the Memory Keepers Crocodile. It has a big spot, but I do have one of these pokey tools. I don't know what you call them. And now it goes like that, right? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get some brads. If I remember where I put them. I rearranged my craft room. I know they're right here somewhere close by, but where is that close by? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, brads. Help me, Barb. Where'd you put them? A brad will go in here, and then I'm going to take some fine thread like this, and I'm going to wrap it around my brad. Don't you know that when, oh, I guess I found my brads. Here they are. They're right here in front of me the whole time. So what kind of brad would I like? I have this whole case of brads. And I do like this alphabet one. This one's quite nice. You can see how off-centered that is. Oh well. Sometimes you get something a little off-centered. What other color do I got? I got pink. Well, of course I want pink. Now, you know, I have these brads back here that are not very appealing to the eye. Make sure you push them down as far as you can. And then we're going to punch 2 more circles. You can punch circles that are the same paper, but it's not necessary. Oh, look. This one has a flower. I'm going to glue, ink it. You can choose to ink it or not. But I want to hide this brad so it doesn't catch on anything. This one is not attractive at all. So I'm going to use the yellow. I probably could have looked at the pattern on there to get a good picture, but I don't need one. I just use what I got, however I got it. That way, it kind of matches. First, second. Now, here's the string. I'm going to tie this string under the brad. I'm going to actually tie it. This one is a little thick. It can be finer than this, but it's not mandatory what size you use. It's really up to you. You don't even have to do this if you don't want to. I have 2 knots, and then I'm going to go around the bottom. Sure you are. And over the top and around the bottom, like that. And I'm going to cut it right there. Okay. And my folder, how I want it, is complete. Now I'm going to open it up. I can put this other, look at that, I'm glad I checked. Always check, make sure your glue is good. Then I have this cute little poem, and that poem is going to go in here, like that. I thought, you know, I do have this side too, so it just depends on, it's my hidden poem, but I wasn't sure I really wanted this poem. It talks about, it pays to be happy. This one, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and do what I had originally planned, which is to put, it pays to be happy. Although I know these words are kind of outdated. The whole book is about outdated papers anyway, right? So maybe someone will, when they read it, will understand what I was insinuating. So I'm not going to read you the poem. But this is the poem. And it's hidden. You know, you can always dress it up with some other ephemera if you want. Some other little goodies. Whatever. I think it looks great just the way it is. And now it's my hidden poem. So in order to see my poem, you're going to have to unlatch the pocket. There you have it. I hope you'll give this a try. And any questions, let me know. Have a good day.